What is up, YouTube? It is your boy Skinny Moose, and we have a special guest, Andrew Kato, today.
What's
And your
up?
boy,
What's up? What's up?
And now you got Fat Squirrel. I told you I'd bring his lazy ass back. So let's kick it off. What made you become a wrestler?
Shit, man. Truth be told, my mom's gonna say she's gonna deny it all. What made me become a wrestler is I actually saw King of the Ring in Wisconsin at the old Bradley Center in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it was Stone Cold beating the shit out of Jake the Snake, and that was the night he became Stone Cold Steve Austin.
that's
You kind of remind me of an old school wrestler. I just can't put my fucking finger on it.
Hey, I'm losing the teeth like an old school wrestler.
Squirrel, who does he remind you of? Like, I could see the Undertaker in him, but who else does he remind you of?
a little bit of X-Pac, because the facial features a little bit.
Oh, fuck, X-Pac.
Yeah, I heard that one. I actually hung out with him back in the day in Milwaukee. So,
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
What is your favorite match you ever done?
oh man, honestly, besides wrestling Tommy Trainwreck at the last IWA Deep South Southern Outlaw show, it would have to be Chris Black / Sigmund Cochran III. We had a series of matches leading up to me becoming the Ice Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion back in Milwaukee.
I found a lot of your matches on like YouTube and stuff. So I was like, I watched you face Dysfunction, and I was like, that match alone, that's probably one of my favorites aside of Tommy Trainwreck. I watched your War Games, and that match was all over the damn place. So I got a couple questions off of it, but it was like all over the damn place. It's probably one of the craziest matches I've ever seen you in.
That was, to be honest, UPW just started back up in Michigan. So they approached me about the War Games match, and I was like, yeah, I'm all for it. The cage, the cage is a little loose, man. I to get up on top of the cage, dude, the cage was sticking above the bar, so my footing wasn't really right. So I ended up flying off that side of that cage, dude, and you seen the outcome.
You had that fucking monster ass dude in there that looked like fucking Kevin Nash's little brother.
Samson, Big Samson. That's his name.
I mean, that man is fucking huge as hell, tall as shit.
Samson's a big beast, man. He's a beast.
How tall are you?
I'm actually pushing 5'8.5".
I seen you last night face Dysfunction. I went back and rewatched it, and I was like, Kato don't look that damn tall. He's like, I was gonna say about 5'10" at the most.
if I had super lifts on, I'd probably be about 5'10". Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Squirrel.
Seeing as you've been in it for like 20 years, what advice would you give to somebody breaking into the business?
Oh, dude, that's a good question too, man. I always tell the new guys, it's gonna suck. It's gonna take you and beat you down, and always take advice from anybody that you can get advice from, but mostly listen to your vets because they're the ones with the experience. And you're not going to make money right off the bat. That's one thing that's known. You're not going to make money unless you got a Pier 1A 100%, beefy looking body, and you got them skills right off the bat. It's going to take you a minute, but I always say hang in there because the good outweigh the bad. And at the end of the day, what you do in the ring counts.
when we interviewed Pondo, he said, "Don't quit your day job." He said because wrestling don't make much, especially independent.
Yeah,
I was like,
it's fucking hard, man. I got to give a lot of credit to my wife for sticking it out with me. This last year has been rough on me since we moved from Wisconsin to Illinois. So it's a tough business to be in to make money, but you also make money on your merchandise. That's where you got
yeah,
to sell your ass off on the merchandise, and you'll make money. I mean, I walked away from a show one day with my payday. I made probably $350, and that was with merchandise sales.
that's not bad.
So, I mean, it can happen, man. It's just all about where you're at, the location, and if them fans are willing to pay.
Yeah. So, how was it being at Deep South from facing Tommy Trainwreck to the SWAT team incident?
The SWAT team, man,
Well,
I'll
some
tell you
people
what.
say it was SWAT team, others say it was just regular cops.
I mean, they look like SWAT team members, dude. They had AR-15s and they were full suited, dude. Um, it was crazy. It was the most craziest thing I was part of, but it was an experience that I loved. Um, we were on private property, so cops couldn't do a fucking thing.
Exactly. That's the good thing. Like, the neighbors called and they said people's over there stabbing each other and shit. And I'm like, you ought to know this coming. It's a fucking deathmatch show. Like,
You
Kevin's
know,
ran there before.
and it's crazy because you go from your indoor shows to your outdoor shows, and people got to understand, dude. Even though that you're outdoors, you're still putting on the show, you're still performing, and hell, that was a pay-per-view. So that alone was fucking 5 stars. To have the 5-0 show up after my match, man, bro. I'm telling you, me and my wife looked at each other. We're all bloody and shit, and we're like, we did something good. Cops are here.
Was that your first? Was that your first live pay per view?
Yeah, that was the first live pay-per-view. I mean, we've been on TV for UPW. I also been on TV another handful of times, but it was all recorded stuff. Um, I did TV. I had we call it a podcast now, but I had local TV back in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I was on there for a year. So I mean, I'm kind of used to the TV scene, but the pay-per-view thing was totally new.
Hell yeah.
Would you wrestle internationally if given the chance, and where would you go?
Oh fuck yeah, man! First and foremost, New Japan.
Ooh,
Yes.
yeah.
In fact, I just got a message from a guy from London, which was totally blew my mind, man. London, England.
Fuck yes.
There's a worker out there who is trying to get over here to IWA Deep South, and he's gonna put a good word in for me in London, dude. So, fuck, might be international soon.
Fuck yes. Jack Harrop from England.
Yeah,
He works over there in Rise. Jack Harrop does. That's Iceman's boy. He wanting me to try to get him in the cup. And I made that post, and hopefully I can get Kevin to, fly him in. They just had a show on the 4th of May, but it dropped, I think, Tuesday night on IWTV.
Oh, okay.
So he'll
no
fucking go.
no.
Yeah, no ring, no rules, part 4.
Yeah.
So
I know what you're talking about.
look who's popping in, y'all.
Miss Naomi Nightmare.
Hello.
What's up?
Shit, nothing. A matter of fact, now we're speaking about IWTV. Do you know that you're on IWTV?
Fuck, am I?
Yes, I swear to God. In the Insane 8, When you click in Insane 8, it has you versus Marcus Crane on there.
Oh shit, dude! I haven't seen that match in fucking years. I'm gonna have to
Dude,
check that shit out.
that's like one of the biggest wrestling streaming promotions going. They have like over 300, 400 shows.
Man, I'm gonna have to definitely check that shit out, dude. Because I got a picture, an 8x10 of me and Marcus Crane on my fucking front room wall.
Fuck yes. So, do you have a current deathmatch or wrestling go?
Honestly, yeah. One, I want to wrestle Musada.
Masada?
And yep,
Fuck yes.
I
Yes.
definitely want to wrestle Musada. I think me and him got we got some similar style, and I love his style, dude.
I can see it.
Especially with the skewers. You know,
Mm.
I'm big for the skewers. I don't know why. I'm very big on skewers. I like it. It's one of them things that just will hit the top of the chart all the time.
Dumbass over here, he actually took a skewer.
Yeah, I took a skewer to the head.
That explains why Tommy scared him in Southern Outlaws.
Yeah, he put them skewers on the top of my head, dude. That was the first time on the top of my head. I had them in my
Shit.
forehead once, in my arm. Yeah, it was cool though.
I wish you would have dug them deeper because as soon as you like stood up and got motivated again, they really just fell out. I was like,
Yeah, he gave me the big ass elbow, uh, but it worked. It led into something else, so it was cool.
yes, I'd like to see y'all two go at it again.
Hopefully at the cup, man. Hopefully at the cup.
Do you have a favorite opponent so far that you faced?
Honestly, superstar or indie.
Either one or both.
Honestly, let's put it like this. There's two superstars. We'll go with Sabu.
Oh,
Sabu was fun. He was a great opponent to work with. Awesome mind. And then the Brooklyn Brawler was the other one. And it was a simple match, but it was so cool to work with a legend like him. Let's go with two indies. Adam Hayes from UPW.
Oh, that's so much fun.
We had such a great chemistry together. And everything just fit right. Honestly, deathmatch Jesse Daniels, but I liked working Tommy. Tommy was that chemistry alone too was just perfect.
Tommy's one of those guys that'll go.
Blood too, by the way. That show was the first time I've ever gotten to lead, so that was a ton of fun.
That show was fucking wicked. Like Kato goes to smack Tommy with the cookie sheet pan. Tommy moves, you get smacked. I was like, damn, what the fuck ain't going to happen at this show? Cops, you know?
Yeah.
I guess it's legal to have domestic violence in wrestling nowadays.
I mean, with the intergenders, you know, the intergender deathmatch is becoming more common. I mean,
she would actually like to get tangled up if we get a chance, if it so deserves. One day, Mickey Knuckles and I, that would be awesome.
Fuck.
It was supposed to happen. It was supposed to happen a couple, like 2 years ago, and it just didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Give me 1 second.
But that would be an amazing match. I think we would have a blast doing it.
Oh, my knee hurts. Sorry.
Throw a little bit left on there and then light her up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, over on the coals.
Yeah.
Over. But I think that would be one of the a highlight match for me and Naomi to work with Mickey.
Oh yeah, Mickey. Mickey is awesome. I like her work.
And you know what? She's such a fucking sweetheart too, man. I totally give so much credit to Mickey Knuckles. She is the baddest woman I have ever met.
She'll work. She'll go. My little girl woke up.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you know what that means. Every interview, it never fails.
True.
She wakes up in every interview.
It's true.
Have you ever wrestled under a hood?
As far as indies,
Yeah.
A handful of times, maybe about 3 times. I actually worked a ICW show. We did a small little lucha thing for the bar that we were wrestling at the time back in the day, and actually became the luchador tag team champions.
Hell yeah.
Just for that split moment.
Brian brought up that he was like, didn't Kato wrestle on like WWE or like Dark or something? I was like, I'm not for sure.
No,
He was like, I think he was mainstream.
I have a lot of contacts, but back in the day, I failed to use them. I was stupid, young, learning my craft and being stupid and abusing drugs at the time. Fortunately for me, I got clean. All I do is drink and eat edibles.
Hey,
That's understandable.
ain't nothing wrong with some edibles. Hey. Bro. Hey, bro.
Congratulations.
I've seen a lot of shit in this business, man. It's crazy. The guys who you think will last and stay don't.
Sure.
Yeah, congratulations on your recovery.
Yes.
Thank you, man. It took a hell of a lot, man. I mean, even when I was down, I was still wrestling, and I looked like shit, but I was still doing it, you know?
God, dude, I can't get over how like you look like you're still in your fucking 20s. Like the other day when I seen your cake, I messaged Brian. I was like, "Do you know he's?" Yeah, he's like, "Yes, I know." I'm like, "There's no way Kato's in his 40s." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "No." I honestly thought when I first seen you, like here recently, because Southern Outlaws was like the first time I seen you in like the longest time. I thought you was like really young.
In fact, in my mid of the years, I would say maybe, oh God, late 2000s. I was actually pro boxing at the same time as I was wrestling and working construction.
Oh shit!
So I had 6 pro fights under my belt. Boxing was never my thing. I got into it about the money. The money was kind of the key. I think the most money I made in one fight was like $1,600.
Jesus.
And I only lasted 2 rounds. In fact, that fight that I fought for $1,600, that fight should have been called off because I almost beat the shit out of. I almost knocked the dude out in the first round. However, me being dumb at the time, I was holding my breath punching. So I got winded really quick. Come out the second round, he caught me in the fucking rib cage and got me.
Oh shit.
Oh wow.
But I remember, here's a little story. This is a funny story. So Silas Young and I were working out, and we had the ring set up. Rashi Brown was running a weekly show, and we were training there, working out in the ring. And Silas pulled me aside. He's like, "Hey, you remember the difference between shoot punch and fucking regular wrestling punch, right?" I was like, "I'm not gonna punch you in the face, dude, because I know you'll punch me right back." Uh, the fun shit about wrestling, man, is the oh there it is.
Say hi, Kato.
Hey baby.
She watches all deathmatch wrestling with me.
Now that's a kid right there, dude. You know, the funny thing is that we talk about kids, you know, I'm a family man now. My two daughters, they roll with us to all the shows. There's a lot of things that they don't see. I make sure they don't see it. But when I deathmatch Jesse Daniels, and he took the razor blade or the knife to my head, my little daughter started crying, bro. I felt so bad, dude. Um, but I told her I was okay. She knew I was okay because I was walking, talking, and having fun. But it was crazy, dude, because that was the first experience I ever saw that my little daughter started crying. I'm like, Daddy's fine. I'm okay. Relax.
When I took a light tube for 100 subs, she heard it like when it busted, and she started squalling. And like, I can't do anything without her. She is a big daddy's girl. And my son, he's the biggest mommy's boy that. And I thought I was a mommy's boy.
Yeah. In fact, that's a funny story too about me. My mom never really understood wrestling. So when I jumped into it, she didn't really kind of understand it. She's like, I don't understand why you're doing this. I'm like, because, you know, you kind of got me involved in this when I was a kid and I fell in love with it. And I ended up doing it. And when I won my first heavyweight title, she was all like, she was really happy and proud. So it was kind of like one of those cool things that, like, hey, mom, I know I did all this shit. I went to the hospital and all this every time or this time, but in the end, it paid off.
Hell yes. Do you currently hold a belt?
I have was supposed to be a title from a company down here that never accepted it. Um, See, when we moved to Southern Illinois, I ended up starting a hardcore division for a company. I bought the title and all that. I became the hardcore champion. However, because it doesn't have the company name on it, they shoved it aside. And I was like, all right, fuck you.
How
So
does that work? That's
because
that,
because politics
mm,
politics are fucking a big thing here in Southern Illinois. I
that's childish.
yeah, I always hated politics. I hate the ass kissing bullshit games. And in Southern Illinois, there's a couple shows. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to bash people like that, but I'm going to talk about it. 3 shows around here are kind of supervised by one guy. He runs tag team division. He's a cool dude. I like the dude. I became a tag team with one of my best friends called Preacher. Um, we had this dark image. He meshed with me. We worked out perfect. We started getting over like Rover. Motherfuckers shut us down. Promised tag team titles. Shut us down. Then we split apart. Uh, we split apart for an angle. I couldn't make a Christmas show this last year. So we kind of, and it was a tag team tournament thing. So we split. But we were doing that power struggle thing as who's the boss. I started getting over with the fans. They got irritated about that. They got irritated because I was a deathmatch wrestler. There's a guy. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say this guy's name because I think he's a piece of shit. Ace Hawkins. I don't like the dude. He thinks he's the king of all fuck. He thinks he's the shit. Um, but the guy's got an ego and a power trip, and he thinks he can run everybody's shows. And
Oh, hell no.
it became a thing where I stood up to the dude.
Give me 1
And
second.
I was like, listen, you ain't gonna try to boss me around. You ain't gonna try to do shit. I am who I am. If you didn't like me from the get go, you should have never even fucking said shit about it.
True.
You should have kept it to yourself. And I called him out. I punked him out. And I'll tell you like this: if that dude actually is who he says he is, because he says he's internationally known and he had tryouts. And I don't give a fuck if he had a tryout or not, dude. He's still a little bitch. There's one dude who I would love to punch in the face.
True. I understand
Sorry
it.
about that.
And because I don't play the politic game. I'm kind of like the modern day Stone Cold Steve Austin. I don't give a shit about rules. Just let me be. Let me do my thing.
Exactly.
Let me work, and we'll be good. But don't try to change my character. Don't try to change my wife's dress code. Don't try to do this. That's why, personally, I would never want to go to WWE because they try to control you so much. Now, I don't think so. I think it's more loose. And that I think that controlling environment was VK, but I just don't see myself there. I'm not that type of guy that wants to be like that. I don't really care about being on that show because I want to be me. I want to be known for me. You know,
I
I don't
understand
want to
that.
be known for a jobber to some big name.
Hey, buddy, we
You
got
know,
pictures.
I want to do what I do best.
I understand that.
I understand that. Yep.
I'm sorry, I know you won't.
Yep.
But to back to the title stuff, so I'm defending we vamped up the title plate. It's called BMF Hardcore Champion. So it's a bad motherfucker hardcore champion.
Heck yeah.
I like
So I
that.
vamped it up.
I like
So I actually defend my title at Resurrection Pro Wrestling May 25th
Ooh.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
against Mac 10.
Oh, I've seen Mac. I'm ready for the shit.
And I worked Mac twice already. So we worked the Resurrection show, the first show I did for them. Then we worked the Mud show, had a bar fight brawl, ended that in a double knockout, which led to putting up my title and I think it's a vacated hardcore title. So for 2 titles.
Fuck
Ooh,
yeah.
that's cool as hell. Yes, sir.
But
Yes, sir.
but let's get on to this subject for a little bit. So I moved to Illinois. I worked around Southern Illinois. I love my lucha guys in Chicago. I actually cannot wait to get back to working with them. But I think if you're gonna run a show, don't have many chiefs and have more Indians.
Thank you.
Stop letting 5 other dudes run your show because that's when the problems become. Because then you're changing the plans, you're changing all the storylines, you're changing this, you're changing that, and it's never a good thing. It never turns out well.
It should be the promoter and the vice promoter, or the booker and, the vice booker, or whatever you call them, or whatever
Yeah.
they call themselves. 1 to 2 people is plenty. You
Yeah.
don't need 5, 6, 10 people.
Yep.
Not knowing, and sometimes it leads out to they don't know what the hell they're even doing.
And then that is another thing too. So if people knew I was this kind of rough, hardcore image, Why the fuck would you allow me to be on your show in the first place if you didn't want that there? I'm a loudmouth son of a bitch. I like talking shit. I'll hate on the crowd or I'll love the crowd, depending on if I'm a face or a heel. But don't try to judge me for what I look like. Judge me by my style and what I do in the ring. 99% of my matches are pretty much the top of my game. Few matches here and there, hey, you don't feel good or whatever, and you maybe miss two things, but I'm on top of my game all the time. Regardless of how I feel, I try to stay on top of my game. But when the crowd, I became a face down here, and when the crowd is louder than every other match, when I'm out there, that means something. That means I'm doing my job.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
these few places, are we back? There we go.
There we
They
go.
kept me aside. And when you push me aside, I'm going to start saying some shit. Like,
That's
I'm doing my fucking job. I'm making this crowd hot. I put asses in the seats. They paid to see me, and you're not using me to my ability. So fuck off.
True.
I mean, like if if you're one of their main guys, then they should always use you. I mean, like that's what I don't get. Like, there's promotions that works guys, and that's the main guys. Like if you're a main guy for say UPW or whatever, and then if you get in a newcomer comes, like how are you gonna push one of your main guys that helped you build your promotion over a newcomer just because
Now,
he's different?
Hello.
but when you got something that's hot and in your face, and the fans are on demand for it, and they're chanting your name every show, doesn't that mean, hey, we got something? We need to figure out what we need to do to get this crowd coming back for more. And
Yes.
they
Yes.
pushed that shit aside, and it was like, okay, I get it that y'all got mad because I'm not your boy, or I'm not your top 5 guys on the company and always hold titles. I get it. But the fans are tired of seeing the same shit. So if they're tired of seeing it and they're chanting, why don't you utilize that and think, hey, we need to change up our fucking booking skills a little bit. We need to figure out what we got to do right, because these fans are all over one person and they don't really give a shit about other people.
Exactly.
Like,
When I kind of pushed away these shows around here, it was for a reason. I stuck to my guns and I stuck to my personal beliefs that if you're not going to use me in the right way, fuck you. Because I sat there busting my ass for 2 years, and then I got promised and promised and promised, oh, I'm going to give you this, I'm going to give you that. And then it gets taken away because these other knuckleheads come out of nowhere that haven't been at a show for 6-8 months, and then they get the opportunity. Hey,
I'm gonna go tell Mario to watch the noodles.
and then they get an opportunity. And it was like, wow, dude, 2 years I've been busting my ass and tag team shit, and now you're gonna give it to some jackasses who don't even come to your show but once every 6 months.
that's favoritism.
That's when I got to getting heated. I feel if you got something very hot and the crowd loves it, utilize that talent until it dies down a little bit. Don't just shove that talent aside. Work them down and then work them back up. Because if you're gonna still use that talent, don't just kick them to the side and just say, well, we're gonna see what's gonna be played out. Work them down, but don't just kick them to the curb. I'm a strong believer of,
To that point, just let me
if
know.
a guy is at the top of his game and then let's say he gets the heavyweight title and then he loses it, don't just kick him to the side. Let him work himself down and then build him back up.
Exactly.
All right, y'all
Yeah.
can ask Naomi a few questions.
I'm gonna follow you around this way because then
Just talk.
I wasn't
Well,
expecting her. I asked Kato, was she going to be in the interview? He said she'd be working, and I was like, oh, fuck, I didn't know it.
Yeah, I thought she was going to be working. She's off, so I'm happy. Go ahead.
Oh,
They want to ask you a question. Go. You're part of it. Go. Let me get this
What-
chicken on there. She's
was,
nervous. She's nervous.
what was your first deathmatch show?
What was that?
What was her first deathmatch show?
Turn it
oh
around.
my goodness. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be like way too close. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what my first deathmatch show would be. Like that I actually really participated in.
Yeah, was it Southern Outlaws?
I mean, I would say that's the dirtiest I've really gotten to get in a show. So I would say yes. Like if I'm bleeding, I'm really truly working. So if I'm gonna go with a show I worked, then that would be it. Definitely.
Wicked fucking wrestling was your very first experience.
So apparently I forget sometimes as well. Oh, he's back here. My first show that I really worked around was Wicked Fucking Wrestling in Wisconsin. For the Foley brothers, I've definitely picked many, many, many pieces of glass and glued his back for that show more than a few times.
That's the show I worked Corbin.
Yeah, that was the last show that he worked Corp Robinson in.
I have a question on Corporal Robertson, too.
For him or for me?
For him.
Oh. Whoop. Right here.
Hold on, I got one more piece of chicken.
What
Hey, he loves cooking.
All right.
was that what was your first actual like hardcore death match for Naomi?
Me?
Come this way.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on. Let's get this all set back up now that he's got everything all in there. Here.
Okay, so mine or hers?
Hers.
Yours.
My first. I'm sorry, I missed half the question.
Your first death match or like hardcore show that you participated in, like you actually wrestled it.
Well, in hardcore match, Jesse Daniels actually for RPW, I smashed some light tubes over his back. So that was definitely like a bucket list for me, is to be able to work with the light tubes. So that was a blast to get to smash that.
She's been involved in Illinois Elite Wrestling for hardcore.
Yeah.
I worked Justin Poole, local dude from St. Louis. Pretty cool dude, but I had a storyline with him for like a year. So she was involved in like minor hardcore, but yeah, deathmatch experience with Jesse Daniels.
Yeah.
Softcore is what we call it, right?
Yeah.
Yes. What is your favorite deathmatch weapon or hardcore weapon? If she wants to answer any of these questions with you,
You go
she can
first.
go.
My favorite, I would honestly say, I love our barbed wire bat.
That was actually used at Southern Outlaws, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I seen the barbed wire bat.
Yeah, we got that. But my other favorite one though is the skewers. I definitely like the skewers.
I like the skewers, and
Ain't no wrong with them.
the thing about the skewers is I have a strong stomach, but when you put them in somebody's head and you hear the pop and the skin going through, that's like it's different to what I expected. I did not expect when I scared squirrel. I'll have to show you after this interview, but I did not expect it to be like a pop. I expected it just to go straight the fuck in. And when I got it, it was like pop, and it was like, oh my god.
That
It was
like
nasty.
I think everybody's favorite weapon though is light tubes. I mean, that's like the ultimate favorite one because the shatter of it. I mean, even if you've got a shirt on, it still feels it hurts, but it still has a great effect without a shirt. Oh fuck yeah, you're getting cut up though.
Yeah.
Definitely getting cut up.
I took a light tube across the back, and Brian White, he's like, when your wife hits you, man, she cocked that motherfucker back.
Dude,
And
when I
I
hit
have a
Naomi,
scar from that
when I
motherfucker.
when I hit
And
Naomi with that fucking cookie sheet. Now I used to train Naomi for wrestling, and she was gonna start working actually legit matches. But unfortunately for her, she had a dog bite incident to her hand, which kind of held her back from training.
Oh,
So now she's starting to get used to getting back in the ring and doing some shit. So soon enough, I'm thinking next year, maybe at the end of this year, we might do an intergender tag team match.
well, yeah, we try to set it up per cup, maybe, like, if y'all can.
Oh, most definitely.
Fuck yes, I would love to see y'all do an intergender death match or an intergender regular match.
Hey, let me introduce y'all to my neighbor, though. This is my neighbor, Jeremiah. He's a badass
up?
motherfucker.
Good with it.
He's a good redneck dude. And if he would be great in IWA Deep South, I'll tell you that.
It kind of looks like Murdoch.
Yeah.
yeah,
Just chilling, cooking, doing this interview.
he does.
But
That's true.
but yeah, dude. I mean, I think the light tubes are definitely everybody's favorite. It's just got a great pop.
I mean, no offense, but I think no offense to any wrestler, because we got like wrestlers that watch this shit, promoters, bookers. We got people we don't even know that watches this shit, and I just have a feeling light tubes are just so overrated anymore.
Yeah, I mean they're getting there. I think when me and Tommy used them, we used them in a fucking
Orderly
awesome
fashion.
manner. We put them in where they needed to. That's why I said our chemistry was just fucking awesome.
And I know a lot of wrestlers that do it over here in the States, and no offense to the Japanese boys, but one of my England buddies, Jack, he's like, I don't see the sense in smacking yourself with the light tube and then cutting yourself with it. And I really don't. Like, it takes the quality away from it. Like, this is a weapon that's meant to be used on your opponent to, hurt, and you're just over here using it on yourself.
I mean, I think it's more for hype up. I think guys will hit themselves with weapons to hype themselves up.
Here, you doctor.
I'm talking about it like that.
Because I know I've hit myself in the head with a weapon to boost my fucking adrenaline.
Yeah.
So I think it's a big adrenaline boost.
I never thought about it like that, actually.
Put it in my car, so don't take it.
So, what gimmick bat hurt the worst that Tommy Trainwreck used on you from Southern Outlaws?
What's up?
What gimmick bat hurt the worst that Tommy Trainwreck used on you from Southern Outlaws?
I don't, maybe the CD one, but I'm thinking the dog collar one.
Because that motherfucker.
The couple of spikes that hit me, dude, it bang, fucking gave me a rung.
I honestly thought you would either say that one or the shingle ball bat.
That wasn't bad. I mean, I guess because I fell on shingles and I did a couple of roofs, so I guess I'm used to that shit.
True.
I guess me being in construction, boxing, wrestling for so long, you build up that high tolerance of pain.
Understandable.
So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, oh, it just grazed the head, but it does hurt. Don't get me wrong, that shit does hurt.
Yeah, like, York Terrier said it felt like sandpaper, and I'm like, I know a lot about shingles. I've done some roofing with one of my buddies, and I'm like, I mean, that motherfucker had to be like fuel to the fire.
It wasn't like, so it wasn't like that bad. But like I said, it does fucking hurt, man.
Go ahead, Squirrel.
Oh, my skin's starting to pop off here.
Out of all the places you have wrestled, where would you say you have gotten the loudest crowd reaction?
Oh, fuck. Well, I'm going to say it like this. Southern Illinois and North Dakota was pretty much a loud fucking reaction. I wrestled, it was called an UFTA match in North Dakota. Basically, it was your average hardcore match, just with limited amount of deathmatch weapons. I happened to be a babyface, and that was the loudest fucking pop. One of the loudest, except for down here in Southern Illinois. And now, as a heel, and that was a face. So as a heel, I want to say, Naomi, where was the loudest heel pop I had?
Heel pop?
Yeah,
I'd say face pop, I guess.
North Dakota was, or North Dakota or here.
Yeah. We got over pretty shitty over here before we got back turned face.
Yeah, I was over really good when I was a heel down here. They hated my fucking guts. I had an old lady wanting to spit and beat me with her cane.
Hell no.
Hey, it's great when an old lady wants to beat your ass.
That's you done something right if an old woman's trying to fucking fight you.
But yeah, I would say down here, I can't imagine what people how they reacted to the Southern Outlaw show. I can only imagine what that pop was like. But yeah.
I mean, we had a couple of fans that I know that were, well, mostly like one fan I know that was there, and he enjoyed the whole show. So I enjoyed it. Squirrel enjoyed it. So I can't wait till we meet you at Cup.
Oh yeah, man, most definitely.
What did you put in Tommy's arm at Southern Outlaws? Besides, I know it was the gusset, but what was the other thing?
What was that? Hey, what was that little thing I tried? Yeah,
It was like a gusset, but circle.
it was a circle. Yeah, a Kenza.
There you go.
I couldn't make that out until you just said that. Like, those motherfuckers hurt.
And the shittiest part about it was I couldn't get that fucker to stick.
Well, partially.
I had to hit him, and then I hit him the first time, and it slid off because he was bleeding so much on that arm. I hit him again, and it slid off. So then this time I punched it, and it still fell out.
I don't know how the hell you would get those to stick, because like normally you see them and they stick easier than the gussets, but those are mini
Oh God!
nails.
I called it a mini grinder.
Like
a fucking mini grinder, dude. And the shittiest part is I seen it stick in a lot of people's heads, chest, but I never see it stick to the arm. So we decided to do the arm, and yeah, it didn't work right, but it still turned out great.
Yeah, I couldn't make it out. Like I wanted to say it was a Kenzai, but it was like so small and you couldn't really get it to stick in there. So I was like, what the fuck is it?
Yeah, I think just due to the fact that it was he was so bloody, I think that's one of the main reasons why it didn't stick. But to lead up to the next the lead up to the next move was great.
What is your hobbies out of the ring?
Honestly, dude, I love cooking. It's one of my passions. I've always loved cooking. It's one of those things that's a stress reliever. Um, Obviously, I love riding my ATV.
Ooh,
Uh,
Oh,
I really um love shooting pool. It's one of my other hobbies that I like to do a lot. Um, Swimming was another thing, and just chilling at the lake, drinking beer.
I like to swim, but I swim like a rock. I sink.
you get a floaty.
I can't swim worth the fuck. Like when I went down to Florida, one of my buddies, we went down there to pick him up, and he was like, "This is how you swim," and I'm like, "Motherfucker, you're fucking on the beach all the time." I'm like, he's like, "You swim like a bow-legged dolphin." I'm like, "Fuck you."
Yeah, swimming. My mom. So back in Wisconsin, my mom has a swimming pool in her yard. So when she moved out to the house there where she lives at, um, I was always in the fucking pool, man. It was one of those things, hot ass day, you go swimming, and then um, it ended up being where I ended up like teaching my kids how to swim because it was one of those things like when you teach kids something, you teach them the right way. So even in wrestling, like I've always said, if I'm going to teach somebody, I'm going to teach them the right way that I was taught.
Exactly.
There's a lot of people nowadays half-ass teaching, and it sucks,
Exactly. Like if it's gonna be done, do it right.
Yep.
Who is your biggest rival right now?
Right now, it's actually Mac 10.
Oh shit. I'm
Mac
gonna
10.
have to find you and Mac 10 going at it. I've heard of the Mud Show. I haven't got a chance to watch it.
Well, the first 5 minutes was missed. I think Joey kind of ended up accidentally recording it late, but it's okay. We still got the match. But that rivalry is going on right now. I did have the rivalry still with Justin Poole, but right now it's all internet talk until we figure out where we can collide heads and make it official, finish up the story.
Would you? Well, you done kind of answered that. I was going to say, would you say you're a heel or a baby face? It just depends on the promotion, I guess.
I guess it depends on the promotion, but mainly I've been a solid heel for the last maybe 10, 12 years.
Really?
There's quite a few shows in between. RPW is kind of I'm a tweener, so I'm in the mix between the heel and the face.
I was going to say you're a baby face.
Nah, IWA Deep South Southern Outlaw Show. Nah, I'm a heel.
I mean, you got that face, like you got that look to be a heel, but you got the attitude of a baby face. So I was like, that's what made me ask. Like, you can do either one. You got the looks to be either one, and you got the attitude to be either one. So
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't mind being a face, but I love being a heel. I love being that asshole. I remember the first time I was in Lake Geneva doing Wicked Fucking Wrestling as a little girl. I ended up wrestling in, it was for their heavyweight title. It was like kind of a small tournament. I kicked this little girl's water bottle across and over a fence, and that was game over. I was the asshole heel.
oh shit, go ahead, Squirrel.
And then when I'm a heel, now, granted, this is not exactly what I wanted to do, but it was kind of a goal for a while. If I didn't make a kid cry or at least pout, I wasn't doing my job right.
That's, I mean,
I
or
mean,
an old lady or an old man to get up and want to kick my ass.
that a heel, you're supposed to be like a dick or mean to people. So I see that. I understand that. Yeah. A baby face is more like the good guy. Yeah, I understand that. So yeah, that's as long as you do your job right. It seems like what I've seen. I've seen a bunch of your matches, and you sell it right. So yeah,
I
like
appreciate that.
when you faced Dysfunction and Insane Eight, everybody was like, "Fuck you, Kato," and they was all flipping out and going off. And I'm like, "Wait a minute, he's a baby face," and I'm like, "What the hell is really going on here?"
You got to watch. Did you watch the Chase McCoy versus me?
I don't think so.
You got to watch them. Those were some good matches. If you can't find it, it's on my ex's YouTube. I'll send you the link and you can check it out, dude.
Yeah, send me the link. Aside of that, one of my favorite parts of the Dysfunction match was when he goes to hit you in your privates and you're like, "No, I want kids." I was like, "Oh fuck." That's one thing I don't really understand about. I understand there's no rules in wrestling, deathmatch wrestling, especially or hardcore, but it seems like men always want to go for each other's privates. It's like, what the hell is
It's
up
a,
with that?
it's one of those easy, quick little fuck you moments to where that other person wants to be in control and take charge of the match and really show that that if I'm not down and out, I'll cheat to win, kind of shit.
Yeah.
So that's basically where the dick punches or the low blows or whatever comes out to play because you want to win by any means necessary.
That's understandable.
That's understandable.
Go ahead, Squirrel.
Besides Insane 8, have you been in any other tournament?
I did a tournament in Milwaukee, but that wasn't a death match. It was more of a showmanship tournament, so it was actually just wrestling tournament. I did that. But other than that, no. The Cup will be my second tournament.
Let's go.
Oh yeah. Good.
Has Naomi ever done a tournament?
Nope.
I have not.
She's only been in the business solid for about 2 years now.
Oh,
Just
wow.
jumping face first into it, apparently. Or face first into pants.
That shit like knocked you almost clean the fuck out.
It was
shit
so
knocked-
100% worth it. I would do it again in a heartbeat. It was a blast.
Is there a dream promotion that you would like to work for?
A dream promotion? Honestly, I would love to do a couple matches in AEW, man.
Oh, fuck yes.
I mean, you gotta shoot for the stars, right?
But
Hey,
if we're talking like strictly, I mean, international known, I definitely would love to go over to ICW. I
Scotland?
would love to tangle up with them boys, especially.
Scotland?
Yep.
Oh, I know a boy who Jack Harrop runs around over there in Scotland and England and shit, and he works out of Rise. So
I heard of them
yes,
too, man. I definitely would love to tangle up with some of them boys out there.
yes, I could probably see about getting you and Jack to hook up.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Yes, because I'm like really, really, really close to Jack, and we talk every once in a while when he's not busy and shit. So I'll put a word out there for you.
Sweet, man. I appreciate
Crazy
that.
train overseas, yo. I'm down.
We're so ready. Like we're so ready at this point for anything. Like, dude, once I knew my wife could handle fucking Southern Outlaws, it's game on.
And let me just throw at myself. We're slightly impressed with my work, even though it was my first real time doing something like that. So I will take that as a win.
I mean, for you not really to be, you're just putting your foot in the door and her to be able to take a fucking smack. Even though that's from Andrew. Andrew had some fucking force behind that when he went to hit knock.
Oh yeah, I'm watching it back. I'm like, damn, like it didn't even register right away. I was just so like in the moment and so pumped to be like just part of it and to finally be able to really do something. Because I was training with him for a while until I was attacked by a dog, and he actually broke my right hand right underneath my middle knuckle. So squash goes training, can't do shit. I was out. I had pins sticking out of my hand for 6 months solid.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so I unfortunately didn't get to do a lot of training since, but so being able to do something like that and those guys giving me a chance to jump in there and get dirty was so, it was an awesome, like, definite confidence boost. Like, all right, at least I didn't forget some of the basics. I can get through a match with these guys.
Yeah, like the ball bet, when you first decided to step in and help him, I was like, okay, this is going to be like any other female wife manager stuff. And then you get up on the ropes and and you heard that fucking smack. I'm like, Jesus, try to kill the fucking woman.
That's what we're going for. So
I think what makes husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend duel work well is he
No,
can
you can get that video over.
portray the real life situations kind of um and bring more realism to it than ever. Just like Shane and Francine. You know, they Shane Douglas
Yes,
when they did their shit, dude, it was a real life stuff, And I always told her, I was like, if you're gonna get into this, you're gonna get into it, and you're gonna know what it feels like to get hit. You're gonna know what it feels like to get popped in the chin once in a while. You're gonna know what it feels like to get kicked,
I've had my black
and you're gonna
eyes,
know
yeah.
what it feels like to get hit with a weapon. And once I started getting her involved in it and started really getting down to the nitty gritty, it became a thing where we work well as our duo on screen. You can
Has she ever
see
taken
how
a light
much
tube?
one of her goals, Mickey Knuckles.
I was gonna say I didn't quite catch that, but yeah, no, I've not taken a light tube, but it's definitely like now that I've had color, that's definitely a big bucket lister for me. Like minimally, I know I can do it. I just need the right opportunity to be able to do it and have it make sense.
Honestly, it's not bad, but I would have like Andrew Kato bust you with one so your body don't go into shock. T12s are the best, which he'd probably
Yep.
tell you that. T8s are too whatever the fuck. T5s ain't even worth it, so a T12 would be best. Because that's what a lot of promotions over here uses is T12s. It's same
Yeah.
and over there in England, they use T5s and T8s.
Doing my video style.
Yeah, the T8s are wow. I mean, I forgot what ones we used, but we used those fucking 8-foot goddamn light tubes at RPW one show. Boy, them motherfuckers are difficult to swing, dude.
Yeah.
I've seen them at Home Depot, and I was like, because this was my first time taking a deathmatch weapon. I was like, what the fuck should I grab? And somebody said, grab the biggest one they got. And I'm like, I'm not getting these fucking long ass tubes and going to take the whole damn thing. I'm taking one light tube. I'm getting it done over with. Brian told me, you said at 500 subs, you got to take a gusset. I'm like, yeah, fuck you. I'll take a gusset, but at 1,000, Squirrel better be prepared to take 2 Kensais on each side of his head.
The gusset, I was intimidated by it at first. But when I first did it was at the mud show, and I got it in my arm. So they're not that bad. They look horrible. When you're holding that fucking spike plate, dude, it's like, oh shit, is this really gonna happen? No. Adrenaline, everything kicks in, dude. You don't feel it until the next day. Then your muscles are like, oh fuck, dude, I just got spiked in the fucking arm.
I guess that's what my problem is. Like, I haven't had pain tolerance, but I'm not one about pain unless I have to be. Like, no needles. I mean, I'll take a tattoo any day of the fucking week. But when I go to the dentist, like, I won't even go to the fucking dentist. And they got to
I
put my
hate
ass
the
to sleep.
dentist.
My mom's, and I used to do plasma. And, one of my friends are like, oh, well, there's no difference with plasma and a tattoo gun. I'm like, I ain't fucking about needles. I'm not getting something stuck in my damn mouth. I
Yeah,
have stitches in my knee and I have scoliosis. And when that doctor, my mom's on one side holding me down, my wife's on the other, and then the little nurse or whatever the hell you want to call him, CNA, whatever, is holding me down while the doctor's sticking a needle in my knee. And I looked at that doctor, I said, I'm going to fucking kill you. And I literally raise up, and that's all I could raise. Like, I'm laid out like this, and I'm trying to raise up. I'm trying to fucking do everything. Punching, headbutting, kicking, fly off. I'm trying to do something to the fucking doctor. And then my knee goes numb, and he's like, do you feel this? I'm like, feel what? He's like, okay, you're done. I'm like, he's like, all it was 30 stitches. I'm like, I shouldn't even have came to the hospital. I could have done tape and a Band-Aid. He's like, that wouldn't have helped.
I'll tell you what, the worst pain I ever went through in my entire life. Two different incidents. I shattered my heels in 2011, and I had plates in my feet. And then this gnarly scar that goes through my finger down to my palm.
Kitchen knife.
No, that was here.
Oh yeah.
I fell off a ladder into aluminum siding, and it went all the way to the meat and then past my bone. So when they were stitching me up in your hand, you don't have all the normal sensations. You have different sensations. So it takes a lot more numbing medicine to numb that up. And they didn't do a good job because it hurt like a son of a bitch. I
See,
felt
Mom,
everything.
I kind of see where you're coming from. I've cut my fingers. I do mechanic work and tow truck and shit with my dad. My mom went and bought my dad this brand new knife straight out of the store, and then my dad turns around and he sharpens it, and he puts like such a sharp edge. He puts it in the drawer. My mom gets in the drawer. She was looking for something, and she slices her finger.
Oh, shit.
And it cut pretty deep. The doctor goes to stitch it up. He's like, well, you got to quit moving. And she's like, I do have my fucking finger here. My mom's not a fan of pain. And I'm sitting there making her laugh. And Squirrel will tell you, my mom hates pain. And I'm sitting there making her laugh. He's like, well, you got to stop making her laugh. You fucking idiot. What the hell am I supposed to do? Sit here with my thumb at my ass while my mom's sitting here squalling in fucking pain because, practically she almost just went down and around because it's one of those hook blades.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then I looked at my wife and I said something, and he's like, well, you got to leave. But when he goes to stitch it up and close my mom's finger, she squeals. And he's like, well, apparently stitches ain't going to work. I'm just going to glue it. And I'm like, what the fuck? I could have fucking did super glue at home. I'm like, I know wrestling, He's like, well, this is different. This glue will hold. I'm like, so will super glue or gorilla glue.
I mean, it is true.
Yeah. I mean, super glue is a wonder, but it burns like a son of a bitch.
That it does.
Get those dogs ready.
Don't quit.
Sorry. My little nieces is around here being little bad butts.
It's all right.
Come on, get in there.
You can't.
The nephew's up front.
What? Sorry. What would you say is your biggest accomplishment in your career so far, and why?
Oh, dude, wow. There's a couple of them, man. There's a couple of them.
I'm sorry, man.
I'll say this. My biggest accomplishment actually getting the recognition from Earl,
From what?
Earl Hebner
Oh,
to get a to get the recognition from somebody like him to me was a great honor. So I wrestled Adam Hayes in UPW for the American title.
You have
Um,
one right there on the top.
again, this goes back to having a great fun match. Adam and I had that great chemistry, and it was for the title, and it was the loser gets dog food crammed down their throat.
I think I
If you
seen that.
didn't see that, match, it's on my YouTube at Kato the Controversial One. It's on there,
I think I seen
I believe. If not, it's
on
on
YouTube.
It's on UPW's page. You have to search for it. Kato versus Adam Hayes. Talked to Earl Hebner about it. We worked out a finish to the story, and at the end of the day, Naomi got the dog food crammed down her face. Got out of the ring. Went in the
Yeah, I
back.
did see that one.
Went in the back. Calmed down. Earl Hebner comes up and was like, "That was the most entertaining match that I've seen in a long time. You guys did a very great job telling the story. You got the point across, and the finish worked out perfect." And he
I
said,
like that match.
and it was a big honor to hear this next thing. I wish I refed your match.
Oh shit!
That was one of the biggest accomplishments I've had besides wrestling one of the superstars like Sabu and the Brooklyn Brawler. I even worked fucking Brutus the Barber Beefcake back in the day. That was fun.
Ooh.
But to get that accomplished in my mind was awesome.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, I looked you up on Cage Match, and like, if I knew you faced Sabu and shit, I would have wrote questions down. But
Oh,
I
it's
didn't.
cool, man. Sabu was cool as shit, dude. I mean, we talked for like 2 hours prior to us going out to wrestle, and just sitting back talking shit and just picking his brain and understanding what he went through to where he is now was amazing.
Oh yeah, considering you get to sit down and speak to nephew,
The
dude.
Iron Sheik was funny as fuck. That motherfucker was funny.
I mean, I met some mainstream wrestlers. Like, I've talked to like Cena. Not really. I've sat down and talked to John. He's pretty cool. I've always wanted to meet.
Honey.
Little one. I've always wanted to meet Undertaker. I grew up. He was a big inspiration for me. But my deathmatch boys was always growing up, and the biggest inspiration was like Bryant Woods, John Rare, Spider Boudreaux. But
You asked a question a little while ago, another like the biggest dream match, death match. Honestly, another person to that list is Nick Gage.
oh fuck
Big-
yes.
Big
And then you have to add on Matt Cardona. Okay, because so I went to GCW a while ago, sometime back when they were in Southern Illinois. And I talked to Matt Cardona, cool dude, but to see Nick Gage in person was crazy. The adrenaline rush, the feeling of dude coming out, like, man, that match would be another dream match of mine.
I'd like to see you and Little Sicko or you and Slack go at it.
I talked to Little Sicko, man. I think we would have a killer ass fucking match.
Or you and Ryan White. You two would kick it off good. So this
Yeah.
next question could go for you or actually both of y'all, which I think I know who she's going to answer, but is there anyone y'all would like to call out for a match?
Honestly, with all respect, yes. How am I going to phrase this, man, so it don't sound stupid? Fuck. All right. Matt Cardona. Matt Cardona. Shoot this shit to him. Matt Cardona, I know you are the self-proclaimed king of deathmatch. But you know what, son? You ain't never met a motherfucker like... Ooh, wait a minute. You ain't never met a motherfucker like Kato. I am self-proclaimed the most hated person in the Midwest today. I am Kato. And
Yes.
they're not better than me, motherfucker. So if you got the balls, Matt Cardona, come face Kato 1-on-1, and we'll see who the real king of deathmatch is, bitch.
Let's go. I'll share this shit. I know Cardano fucks around in the Deathmatch Elite. Let's fucking go.
Heck yes.
I want to face Matt Cardona so bad. I will sign it in blood. I will sign that contract.
Oof.
Oh, let's fucking go. Is there anybody else for you?
1-on-1 with the most killer queen of the death match, Mickey Knuckles. I love you, but I would love to face you 1-on-1.
He's going after
Kato
some of them.
versus Mickey Knuckles 1-on-1, and that's out of respect. That's not
Oh,
on bullshit grounds. That's out of respect. I would love to face Mickey Knuckles 1-on-1.
what about
Oh.
Miss Naomi?
I don't know.
Anybody besides Mickey Knuckles?
The only one person that, if I have to call someone out just for this in particular, that I've had beef with before, if you look in history of us at UPW,
Oh, yeah.
you will see a beef that I have had more than once with a certain lady named Jackie B, who does her own little rumblings around, and I would love to just get my hands on her just one-on-one, because we are cool, but there's a lot of times that we've interacted but never really gotten to have our spotlight. So I definitely wouldn't mind having just girl on girl, just her and me go at it. Would be great.
I think there was a match. I can't remember who Kato faced, but there was a chick I want to say that smacked the shit out of you.
Oh, that was me versus the Dev.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was Jackie.
Yeah,
And
she
also
smacked
whipped me
the
into a
fuck out of her.
barricade. But I got her one too, and I whipped her into a barricade there at the end as well. So I did get at least a little bit on her, but it's unfinished. So we need to finish that one up, I think.
Let's go.
But that is that match that you were talking about. Yep.
And I can't
How was
believe
it
I
facing
fucking
Corporal
said...
How was it facing Corporal Robertson?
Oh, man. I would love to have faced Corp in his... With all respect for what he did in this business, I give him that respect. I would have loved to face him back in his glory days. Facing Corp later on in life, as he grew up and shit, I didn't have the full Corp. I didn't have that full Corporal Robinson like it was back in the day. So that would be a match I would love to take back and to bring out that old school Corporal Robinson, and really like to see what the fuck he really had.
Yes.
Sorry about that. I had to let out my whiny ass dog.
No, that's fine. But yeah, I would have loved to see Corp face him back in his old school days. Um, it's not the same when you see Corp from back in the day till now.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, Corp put himself through a lot of shit. He dug himself in a lot of holes. Um, but the old school Corp, I would have loved to work.
I mean, I've seen Corporal Robertson in Mid South do a lot of fucking shit, even Deep South. Like when him and Chris Hero went at it, and Chris Hero's just smacking the fucking dog shit out of him. He's got his hands behind his back, like, keep going,
I would I
keep
would have
going.
loved that. That's the thing. Like I seen Corp in action back in the day, dude. Until now, it was my last match with him. Yeah, it was great. I mean, we had a good time, but it wasn't like phenomenal. It wasn't what I expected. Um, I would have expected more out of him than what he gave to me. I know he can still throw down. Don't get me wrong, but I would have loved to have a different match.
That's understandable. I respect that. I respect that.
It's true.
Go ahead,
And
Squirrel.
that's just being real. I mean, that's just giving the guy respect. Um, I know he done a lot of shit wrong, but out of respect to Corp for what he did do, I would have loved to have that one match that motherfucker could have just went toe to toe with me and gave it his all.
Yeah, I honestly got to say, he gave a lot to this business, especially his body over the years. And, he's one of the ones that I feel like he's one of the ones that actually helped, grow deathmatch wrestling as a wrestler and as a person. He may not be the best. I'm not going to shoot on him, but as a wrestler, he's at least he's in the elites.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean he is what it is. I mean he is his own self. Um, I gotta say this: when you live by the sword, you die by the sword. You live a hard life, you lead that hard life. Sometimes it's hard for people to kind of swing out of it, you know. Um, and for me, I had to. This is one of the main reasons why I left Wisconsin. Um, it was kind of I hated being in a big city. It kept me down, and I had to get out. You know, I
I
had to do
understand
right
that.
by my family, and I left. I moved to a smaller town. I live in a town of 450 people. I fucking love where I live, dude. I barely get any snow anymore, so that's fucking awesome. Um, to end to end my career on a good note is where I want to be. I want to end it on a level where I can kind of come back to someday, but I want to end it on the highest of highs. You
I
know,
understand
I
that.
want to end my career where I know I can come back if I wanted to. I have
I
my
don't blame
fair,
you there.
I have my fair share of injuries, man. I mean, I'm battling a fucked up neck. I'm
Oh,
battling a bad hip.
oh shit.
But I battle these things because my body's allowed to battle them. It's not giving up. Um, so I want to leave on a good note. So in the next year or two, I might retire, but I'm not going to ever leave. I'm still going to be around. I'm still going to either manage or do some other shit involved in wrestling. But I got myself a good 2 years solid lockdown.
It's kind of funny or coincidence or whatever you say that, because one of my questions is, what is your worst injury or major one?
Um, my worst injury happened to be at a wicked fucking wrestling show. I wrestled TW3 in a no rules match. It was a hardcore match. I actually got paralyzed for 2 hours.
Oh shit!
Towards the end of the match, or towards the middle of the match, I got kicked through plywood. Started feeling numbness in my body. I got the Kofi Kingston kick for the finish, and I went limp. I ended up fracturing my T1 in my neck,
Oh fuck!
which caused me to go paralyzed for 2 hours.
Oh shit! I'm glad
So
you're still wrestling though.
yeah, man. I mean, I bounced back. You know, I'm one of those guys. You know, I've always been an athlete through schools, through all my school years. When I graduated high school, I was a wrestler in high school. So I had an athletic body that gave me that ability to kind of spring back into shit. And a lot of these injuries are now kind of starting to kind of creep in. So that's why I said I'm giving myself another 2-year deadline to get to the maximum amount of wrestling I want. I have 3 major goals. 1, I want to capture an IWA title. 2, I want to go overseas. And 3, I want to retire with a heavyweight title or some sort of title and pass it on to the next people to achieve.
So you want like a Deep South title or something?
I'm shooting for that. I'm shooting for a Deep South title.
Fuck yes. Now, with that being said, are you in the books, or do you have it in mind to win a cup?
Honestly, I don't know about the books. I don't really pay attention about the books, but I do have it in mind to win a cup. Yes.
Fuck yes.
Yeah,
I
hell
do.
yeah.
I want to stretch that goal out to as far as I can to accomplish winning Carnage Cup.
Yes, I'd love to fucking see you win a goddamn Carnage Cup.
I think that's getting involved with IWA Deep South and Southern Outlaws, and hopefully going to XPW. There's been a lot of talk going with that. I want to win a Carnage Cup or some sort of title. I do want to try to make a storyline in XPW, and we'll see what happens.
Now, if you get over there in XPW, who would you like to fight?
One person in mind,
All right.
Jimmy Controversy.
Oh, shit.
Jimmy, I seen you a lot. We talk a lot. But Jimmy, you share a similar name to me. And me and you got one thing in common, and that's controversy. And only one man can take that title. And I've been the king of controversial nightmare for a while now. And buddy, me and you gotta settle that.
I honestly thought you was gonna say because he was shitting on juggalos.
Nah, that has a little part to do with it. It ain't all that.
I understand
I
that.
support my juggalos, man. I'm a woo woo.
Woo woo.
But it's the name.
Y'all. Yes,
Who's
we
the
should
most
have
controversial?
name versus name.
Who is the most controversial man known today? And if it ain't Kato, it definitely ain't gonna be Jimmy Controversy.
Yes, let's go. Go ahead, Squirrel.
Y'all are gonna come with me to my house because I gotta eat too.
All right.
How did the name Kato come about?
All right, so Kato is definitely my shoot name. That is my real last name. I decided to use it in wrestling because I don't want to be anybody else but me.
That's understandable.
That's understandable.
I respect that. You know, that's fucking cool as shit. He wants to be his own character. You know, he don't want nobody else copying him. I respect that.
Yeah, I don't want to be anybody else but me, man. And if I'm going to be this wrestler, I'd rather be known as Kato than be known as some off the wall comic book character.
That's true. What do you think your bloodiest match is?
Honestly, even though we didn't use like extreme amount of weapons, it's a toss. Marley, turn the TV off.
Just trying to find the remote.
It's a toss up between Corporal Robinson and I. Oh no. Let me take that back. The Wild Man Beast and I at Berwyn's Eagles Club. We had a bloody fucking warfare.
Was that streamed, like recorded or whatever?
That is recorded. I think it's in one of my videos, footages. I will have to ask Wild Man Beast about that video because I think he's got it. But that was one of my bloodiest videos my matches I've ever had.
Yeah, someone have to watch that. I would love to watch that.
From the get-go, as soon as I got busted open, I went like this, dude. My whole face was just shot red.
Oh shit!
I was
I haven't
bleeding
seen that one.
extremely amount.
Damn. So, what was it like when you was pushed off the cage and went through the table, hitting the concrete in the War Games?
Damn. Give me 1 second, and I'm gonna answer that. I gotta get food, yo.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Have you seen the War Games match, Squirrel?
I haven't seen it yet.
I'll send you the fucking link.
Where's it at? Send me the link of it.
It's like 10 guys in there, and you see Kato climbs to the top, and like he's getting ready to fly because, in my opinion, that's another one of my questions. Would he consider himself a high flyer? I would say yes. And like, I'm not for sure who gets up there. Somebody just pushes him the fuck off.
Peter be beautiful.
Yeah, Peter. I can't. Never mind. Gotta be professional. I cannot stand that man. Oh God.
Let me tell you, watching him fall from the top of that cage to the ground was like, my breath was like, oh my God, please
Hit the
just
table.
land right and let's not go to the hospital.
When
So-
he fell, I thought he paralyzed himself.
So I actually got knocked out for a split second. The table took a lot of that that cushion for me. But when I hit the concrete, I ended up hitting the concrete on the back of my head a little bit. So it knocked me out for a split second.
Oh shit.
Oh, wow.
But it was an amazing bump, needless to say. And the only one thing I would love to do differently would have been actually standing on top of the cage.
I kind of feel like Peter owes you a one-on-one after that.
You know, Peter ducked and dodged me for a minute because I wanted to do a one-on-one. But we ended up doing a one-on-one with Dev, so I was okay with that.
You mean Dilf Dalton Charles?
Huh?
You mean Dalton Charles Dilf?
Devin, his son.
D-I-L-F?
DEV, the Dev.
Oh, because they say that Dalton Charles is Peter B. Beautiful's son or whatever.
No, it's the Dev.
I cannot stand Dalton Charles. You probably know who he is.
Oh God.
That mother. I like to smack the shit out of that motherfucker.
Oh yeah,
You had to
most
bring that
definitely.
up, didn't you?
Me and him got into it like the night that night after Southern Outlaws. I was on the phone with Brian, and he calls me. He's like, "Hey, will you talk to me on the ride home? You know, I don't want to fall asleep behind the wheel. You know, whatever. I think I got a concussion." And this motherfucker over here running his mouth about Deep South. I grew up on Deep South. I support all of y'all boys. Like, I'm going to defend y'all. And, you know, no matter if you step through those doors, you support Deep South, you support Kevin, I'm going to support you. And he starts running these nickel-plated jaw. And I'm like, I already didn't fucking like you. And I'm like, motherfucker, I'm going to eventually smack the shit out of you.
I am 100%. I can say this without a shadow of a doubt. I am 100% Deep South.
Let's go. I support Andrew all the fucking way. You some merch?
Yes. So I got T-shirts. I'm working on hats, which is the Kato hat y'all saw on Facebook here and there. Pictures, can koozies, lanyards, pins, stickers. I got it all, man. I even had slam buddies for a while.
Oh shit!
But
You
that
get around to
motherfucker
it.
sold out quick.
If you get around to it, make some headbands.
I was thinking about it, dude, but I was also thinking about bandanas. Just straight
Yes,
bandanas.
I'd pick up one because like headbands are my gimmick, and then squirrels is beanies. So definitely, I'd pick up a couple.
I got you,
Yes,
I've thought
We'll
about
look it up. We'll look it up.
let me know when they fucking drop, and I'll go pick up one.
Most definitely, bro. I mean,
So,
my shirts kind of been getting sold out like crazy, man.
Yeah, we got to get another set pretty soon. We're almost out. I'm gonna chill.
oh shit, I'm gonna have to
But-
pick up a shirt.
Let me get that hat. But this might be the next thing dropping.
Pre-order only. Not pepper.
Oh,
Oh,
The
how
fitted
much they
Kato
go
hat.
for?
that might be the next thing dropping, dude.
How
So,
much they go for?
they're probably gonna go for 30.
Damn, that's cheap as fuck, and they're nice as fuck. Fuck yes.
I'll say probably because I'm not sure yet on
How many?
how many I'm gonna order. So we'll see.
Oh yeah, it takes hats are pretty expensive anyways to be made, so I understand that if you raise the price, them motherfuckers are expensive.
Oh yeah, dude. Most definitely.
Bruh.
Would you consider yourself a high flyer?
Back in the day, hell yeah. Uh, but now, honestly, dude, I love ground and pound. I'm more of a ground and pound guy.
Hey,
I'm that in your face, dirty Moxley kind of. I'll scrap with the best of them as much as I can.
I understand that. I respect that. Go ahead, Squirrel.
Sorry. Do you prefer to be a heel or a baby face?
I've done asked that, Squirrel.
Yeah.
No, you're asking if he was a heel or a baby face.
No.
You said do you prefer?
I do prefer being a heel. Most definitely do prefer being a heel, though.
Yeah.
I think it's just the dynamic of how I interact with people more. Because as a face, you can interact with people, but it's
More fun.
it's a lot funner to be the asshole than the good guy.
That's true.
And I guess I would know that from personal experience, considering I'm an asshole.
You are an ass. I
And
know.
because I think a lot of my heel persona, my heel gimmick comes and stems from my past. See, I think to be a true person of yourself, you bring out that past. So if
Yeah,
you were picked on when you were a kid, or whatever the case may be, whether you were a jock or not, I think that the heel persona comes out a lot better.
that's
And
true.
I took a lot of the things from my past and I put it into my wrestling character.
Yeah, that makes it come out 10 times better. I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree with
So,
that.
what's your thoughts on Marcus Crane since you faced him?
Um, I like the dude. I really do. I did. I still do. Um, he lives on. He had a crazy fucking wrestling career in deathmatch.
That he did.
Um, he had a good mind. He knew where things needed to be placed at the time. So he will be a truly missed wrestler. One of the greats that left us too early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish you and Danny Havoc would have fought.
Oh, that
I know Havoc is working again. So
Danny
hopefully.
Havoc.
Oh, Danny Havoc. Yeah, yeah.
I would have fucking loved to see you two tear it up in the ring. Or Coke 45 even.
Oh, dude. Yeah. That was
Yes.
a great match.
So, how do you feel about Fire considering Dysfunction dropped you on Fire in Insane 8 in 2018?
Oh shit. Um, that was my first experience with fire. So when he super kicked me with the boot on fire, it kept going out.
Yeah.
So that spot, that finish was improvised, and I don't know, man. I didn't agree to that spot, but it worked. I wish the bar sign didn't have the metal spikes on it still, because I felt every inch of those fucking things.
Shit.
But in the long run, looking back on it, it turned out to be a good finish.
Oh shit. I liked that match. Like, you was grabbing your shirt and I was like, this man got burnt pretty bad.
I honestly felt it go up my shirt a little bit, dude. And once I felt that, dude, it was like, gotta put it out, gotta put it out.
I respect that. I got one more. How do you prepare for a match, up and coming match like against a wrestler? Do you do research or
Honestly, I mean, for the most part, the people that I do wrestle, I pretty much know. Um, but what I do the best is I constantly study wrestling, whether it be like AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor. Because I grew up in Milwaukee and I had my trainers Silas Young, Angela Armani, and Rashi Brown, I've always studied tapes. So I'd watch myself a lot. I'd study, well, hey, did I do this right? How do I turn into this? Or did I step right? Did I do that right? So I study myself more than ever. Um, but I do also watch a lot of old school wrestling. So I do get hyped up by watching some great. It depends on what matches I'm in. If I'm in a death match, I'll watch death match shit. A regular match, I just watch regular wrestling. So I do kind of psych myself up the couple days prior to going out of town. I work out a little bit. I do a home remedy workout. I do a redneck workout. Throw the sledgehammer around a little bit. Do some outdoor working out. Do my dumbbells in the house. And then I get myself mentally prepared. So that day going to the show, I'm in wrestling kato zone.
Fuck yes.
All I do is concentrate on, hey, this is what I got to do. I don't give a fuck about anything else. This is me. This is what I got to do. This is it.
Yeah.
But I put myself into that mentality of that day, I'm not a father, even though I have my family that travels with me. I'm not that father. I'm that wrestler.
I understand that. We definitely need a part 2 with you, and I'll have to get some questions for Naomi next time if y'all want to do a part 2.
Oh, fuck yeah, bro.
I'm snapping my fingers. Don't mind me.
Fuck
But I am
yes.
definitely down. You know, if you got, I mean, it's fun being like the mystery. Like, not everybody knows a whole lot about me. But if you can think of some questions, I'm a very open book. Whatever you got, throw it this way.
Definitely. I'm going to be at Cup, and I'm going to interview the wrestlers in between, like, you know, when y'all, not as soon as y'all come to the back, you know, let y'all do y'all's thing, get cleaned up, or if you want to just come back, go ahead and shoot an interview, like a short or something.
Let
But-
me say this for you. We end this session here.
Go ahead, say whatever.
What I said about Ace Hawkins is real. That dude's a piece of shit. Straight up 100% a womanizer. I don't know about the other things that were said about him, but he's a snobby, conniving little tweak of a person, of a human being. One-on-one, I will beat his fucking ass any day of the week. And that's not that's not fake, that's shoot. And that's real talk. I hate the little bastard. And I wish I never met dude.
Let's fucking go. I
real
want to see you
talk
do it.
coming from a real man. And if he's got a problem with it, I will fucking come to your house and beat your ass. Because that's the type of guy I am. You don't talk about another person's fucking family. You don't try to bash them about no other reason besides fucking, you know, that you want to be bigger and better than them. And you're a bitter ass person. So that's real talk from the real man himself.
Let's fucking go.
Yes, sir.
But this is your boy Skinny Moose signing off.
It's your boy Fat Squirrel.
And I'm Kato, the controversial one, y'all.